David used to think leadership meant control. He loved his wife, yes, but he wanted things done his way, from how they prayed to how they argued. And when she pulled away a little, he told himself she was just being distant. What he didn't realize was that his pride had been talking louder than his prayers. One night, after another long, cold silence at the dinner table, David stayed behind when she went to bed. He opened his Bible, not out of devotion, but out of desperation. The verse that met him was Ephesians 5:25. Husbands, love your wives, just as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her. He read it again, slower this time. Gave himself up. That line hit something deep. Because truthfully, David had been giving up on his wife, not for her. The next morning, he did something small. He asked her how she was doing and didn't rush the answer. He listened, really listened, and she looked surprised, like she hadn't seen that version of him in a long time. That became his quiet mission, to love her like Christ, not perfectly, but intentionally. He started praying before reacting. He began ending arguments with, "I'm sorry I was wrong," instead of defending himself. Sometimes she didn't respond right away. Sometimes she cried instead, but slowly she softened. The walls began to crumble. David learned that godly leadership wasn't a crown, it was a towel, like the one Jesus wrapped around his waist when he washed feet. He learned that strength was being gentle when his ego wanted to be right. That leadership was covering his home in prayer before the day started. That being faithful wasn't just avoiding adultery, but keeping his heart pure in the unseen moments, in his phone, his thoughts, his tone. He started leaving her little notes again, praying over her when she slept, even cooking breakfast on Sundays before church. And one day, she whispered something that made him tear up. "You're different now. I can feel peace in the house again." David smiled, not because he'd arrived, but because he finally understood. A godly marriage doesn't thrive on perfection. It grows where humility lives, where both partners keep choosing grace over pride, prayer over silence, and love over ego. And that's where his real leadership began.